Thank you all for returning back for the concluding part of this story. I really appreciate you all. So back to the story. Nosa went to live in the island, precisely Lekki, with his newfound lover, Abani. For Nosa, he was already a fulfilled man, as he could not afford the luxury life he has always dreamt when growing up. His girlfriend Abani was a showstopper. She was young, beautiful, and I've always wanted more in life. And she was so happy to have a big fish like Nosa in her life. She had met Nosa in Port Harcourt when Nosa had traveled with Vincent to Port Harcourt so they could handle some of their projects over there. They had met at a restaurant one of the weekends. Vincent had returned to Enugu to spend some time with his family. So Nosa, being bored in his hotel room, decided to have a view of the city life in Port Harcourt. He had just been having some time, chilling with some red wine, when Abani walked in. She sparked off something in him that he had never felt before. And after they exchanged pleasantries and had some time together, Nosa wanted more. The few weeks they spent together, Nosa could not get his mind off Abani. And Abani, being a street girl, knowing how to play her cards very well, tied her belt round Nosa, and he could not resist her. Abani was all that Biodun was not. So when Nosa moved with Abani to Lagos, Abani insisted that they move to Lekki. She reminded Nosa, "Baby, you know your wife also resides in Lagos, and since we want to live here, Lekki will be the ideal place for us, so both of you would never cross paths." Although the rentage was on a high side, Nosa had no choice but to concur, as Abani was on his neck. It has always been about Abani. Nosa thought he was in love, but never knew he was infatuated. He was carried away by Abani's looks, her elegance, and style, so he did all he could to impress Abani. She also had lots of friends that reside there in Lekki, so with the help of Abani's friend, who was into real estate and agency, they were able to secure a beautiful house. The rentage was 5 million per annum. At first, Nosa objected. He had just started a new car hire business, which was just picking up. "Babes, this money is too much, oh. 5 million is not small cash to just pay for house rent," Nosa tried to explain to Abani, who was busy grumbling. "Every time you be calling yourself Odogu, and 5 million is difficult for you to bring to pay for rent. After all, is it not your mates that own these houses in Lekki, and you are here complaining over rent? Me, I don't like this place, so this is where many of our celebrities and top people in our society reside. Baby, in that place, you will get connection, oh. Eat your money when you are alive." So Nosa was tired of Abani's nagging. He went ahead to pay for the house rent. They also bought a beautiful car when they moved into their new home. They bought beautiful decors to decorate their home. Abani was there for the soft life. They hired a chef, a housekeeper. Nosa made sure Abani had the comfortable life Biodun never had. For Abani, she was enjoying the luxury. What mattered to her was her shape, her beauty. She refused to get pregnant for Nosa, even when he promised that she was going to have the child abroad. She complained how she was not yet ready to become a mother. "You want to leave me the way you left your wife and your daughters? Are you not here because of my shape and my beauty? You think I don't know, Abi?" Abani said proudly. "When I start having children now, you start complaining about my shape and my looks. Please, oh, Nosa, just allow me rest for now. When I'm ready, we will have babies. I'm only 23 and still have a lot of time," Abani said hesitantly. Abani did not only refuse to get pregnant for Nosa, she also squandered the money she made from the boutique Nosa had set up for her few years ago. The boutique was a shadow of itself, and she could not give any account of how she squandered the money. Nosa had tried to talk some sense into Abani, who never cared to listen. She either ignored and walked away, or would not allow him to touch her when they were in bed. So Nosa decided to be her mugu, because he had always loved the way Abani brought variety into the other room. Meanwhile, Biodun had to move to one-room apartment in one of the suburbs in Lagos, as she could no longer afford the rentage of the house where they lived before Nosa left them. Before now, she had hoped and prayed for Nosa's return, but it was over a year now since Nosa left them with his new lover, so she decided to face her current reality. She had lost her husband, the father of her daughters. He abandoned them when he became very rich. Biodun almost cried her eyes out. She never wished such betrayal, even to her enemy. Biodun was shattered. Every night when Folu and Doreen were fast asleep, she would cry quietly. But as months passed, she reminded herself that if she was rejected, would she also reject herself? Even though she did everything for Nusa, for the 10 years they spent together, she knew she had to forgive herself and take care of her two daughters. For her, right now, it was not just about making ends meet. It was also about her self-respect and holding her shattered heart together. After all, Nusa did not care about her or their daughters. The years they've lived together, Nusa has always been selfish, ungrateful. It has always been about him, not her. She sacrificed her love, her time, everything she knew to make Nusa happy. But what did Nusa pay her back with? He abandoned her, humiliated and rejected her. Biodun almost slipped into depression because of the heartbreak. But with the help of Nnamdi and his wife, who helped pay for the services of a therapist, she was able to pick up the pieces of her life. Biodun finally went back to making snacks. She had been relieved of her job when she almost lost her mind. After Nosa left her, Biodun was able to pay for a small shop where she sold snacks and soft drink along the streets with the money Nnamdi gave her. Biodun also enrolled her daughters in a government secondary school, which was not free as she had to still pay school fees, buy books, school uniform, and still provide for their basic needs. She also had to wash people's clothes so she could make more money. Nosa and Dabani have lived together for 4 years, and it became clear to Nosa that he still had a big space in his heart, which Abani could still not occupy. He yearned for his daughters. He really missed them. He knew he was not in the right path. There are some things his money could not get him. He missed Biodun's genuine laughter, her tender care and concern, her faith in him, which Abani was not. Biodun was conservative, homely and resourceful. He really missed the stability, the warmth and loyalty that Biodun has always given him. But now it was too late. Also, Musa's business began to falter. The wealth he had worked so hard to get was slipping away, and Abani was no help. All she cared about was material things. She was not the woman he would grow old with. His finance was now slim. He has almost sold all his cars he was using for his car hire business because he was funding Abani's luxury lifestyle, as she has threatened him severally that she would lose him if he continued to complain about her lifestyle and spendings. Life has really been challenging for Biodun these 6 years, but she was grateful that her daughters were a consolation to her. She had encouraged them to be hardworking and diligent in their studies, and they both grew to be brilliant students. Despite the struggling, they were supportive in her business, and this Biodun never took for granted, as she would always praise and thank them. Fulu, now a teenager, was able to learn how to fry the snacks and would stay with her sister at the shop after school hours or during weekends. It has not been easy for Folu and Doreen. They had a little taste of luxury before their father abandoned them and their mother. Whenever they complained about their father being the cause of their sufferings, Biodun would encourage them to believe in themselves and remember that God is their father and he will never leave them. One of the evenings after a tiring day, they have returned late from the shop. There was a heavy downpour that evening that unfortunately affected the roof of their house because of a leakage, which they have complained to their landlord, who ignored them. Doreen was sad and very tired that evening, as Folu and their mother was scooping away the water that entered into their one-room apartment with plastic plates. Mom, I hate Dad. He's enjoying himself with another woman, abandoning us his children here to suffer. Mom, see what we are passing through when we have a wealthy father. I will never forgive our father. Doreen continued bitterly. No, now, my child. Stop saying that. Now, both of you should listen. I want both of you to know that your father still remains your father. You don't have to hate him. One thing I know, that is sure, he will still live with the consequences of his actions. Let's not hold on to any grudge, so we will not stop ourselves and hit our toes on the brick. That's why you see I'm working hard and encouraging both of you to prove him wrong. When life throws a challenge at you, you face it squarely and fight. One thing is sure, you see this phase is going to pass. It's not permanent. My prayers for you is that you do not repeat my mistakes. Never you put your faith in a man, especially when he did not deserve it. That night, Biodun cried. She wept bitterly. She looked at her two daughters. She knew their pain. They were too young to understand what was happening. It was a lot they could handle. She felt this deep pang of pain in her heart. She vowed to herself to give her daughters a much better life. She spoke to herself. Biodun, enough of the mediocrity. She had abandoned her certificates all these years, as she thought she was not ready for the labor market again. She could not fight. Even though she learnt that Nosa was living in Lekki with his side chick, she was not ready to fight for a man who have never sacrificed. She has always been the one sacrificing all these years. They've been married. So that night, Biodun resolved in her heart to give herself a chance to life again. The next week, Biodun started applying to different organizations, even government agencies, and in a few months' time, she was at home one Saturday evening. She was getting her clothes ready for church the next day when her phone beeped. She checked her phone and it was a mail from an international NGO that she applied. In the mail, she was to report in their office at Ikoyi on Monday for an oral interview. God, you are so faithful. Biodun screamed for joy as she called her daughters around. So she quickly shared the news with them and they were all elated and hopeful. And on that fateful Monday morning, as they all prepared to leave the house, Biodun and her daughters joined hands in prayer for success during her interview. Weeks later, Biodun had just resumed at her shop that morning as she was still trying to get her things ready for the day. She got an urgent call from the hospital. It was an emergency, so she quickly rushed to the hospital and was seated at the doctor's office. Biodun sat on one of the chairs looking worried and curious. She was still waiting for the doctor to tell her why she was in his office. Good day, madam, the doctor greeted. Madam, please, I would like to know if you can identify this picture here, the doctor asked as he handed the phone to Biodun. She quickly glanced at the picture and screamed, No, sir. Yes, sir. He is my husband. Biodun replied desperately. I hope all is well, sir. Well, madam, please calm down. Well, this is the reason why you are here. Your husband was involved in a fatal accident this morning and was brought in by a good Samaritans who witnessed the accident. Your husband was in the company of a young lady who would think should be in her early 20s. Unfortunately, she was brought in dead. The main witness of the accident was a man that was returning home this morning from a night shift. According to him, he said he was behind your husband's car when he observed that he was arguing with the woman that was sitting at the passenger seat. And the way the car was moving, he knew something was wrong, so he drove slowly behind them. He said he saw the woman slap the man and was struggling with the wheel, and that was how they ran into a deep ditch. The man alerted some motorists and passengers who quickly intervened and brought your husband and the lady here. Fortunately, your husband had an emergency surgery, so we could save his life. Thankfully, he is alive, the doctor continued. Oh, thank God. No, sir. No, sir. Biodun then sighed deeply. But, madam, that's not all. Unfortunately, your husband lost his both legs and would never use them again. What? Biodun screamed, and she bursted into tears. No, sir. No, sir. See what you have brought upon yourself. Oh, God. Madam, please take it easy. I'm so sorry for what happened, but we still have to thank God that he's alive. The doctor tried to console Biodun. No, sir. So this is how you ended your life. Nosa was unconscious for 2 days, and Biodun was always checking up on him. On the third day, Nosa opened his eyes gently, as he was still unaware of his environment. So when he finally opened his eyes, he could not believe who sat on the chair beside him. Jeez, he said in a quiet tone. Biodun, what are you doing here? No, sir. Can you just relax? You just woke up. You have been unconscious for over 2 days now. Thank God. You will be fine, Biodun assured him. Nusa could not believe his eyes. The few days that Biodun came to see him in the hospital, he could not utter a word. He did not know the right words to use. He was speechless. He was so ashamed of himself. After everything he has done to Biodun, she was here beside him in the hospital. Nusa's eyes were red and swollen as he wept all night. The doctors have pleaded with him to take it easy. They thought he was crying because of his legs, so they tried to console him that he should be grateful to God that he was still alive. However, on the day that Nusa was discharged from the hospital, Biodun was there as usual. Nusa gazed at her. He was lost for words, not knowing where to start, what to say. After some time, he said to Biodun, Biodun, please, say something. Your silence is killing me. I am losing my breath. Nusa said, pain in his eyes. He was filled with sorrow, guilt, and shame. Biodun, please, I'm deeply sorry for everything. I know there's nothing I can say to turn back the hands of time, but I just want you to find a place in your heart to forgive me. Nusa, what really caused the accident? Biodun quickly asked. Nusa was silent for some time. He summoned courage and spoke up. It was Abani, the lady, the Nusa struggled to talk. Oh, you mean your mistress? Just continue, I'm listening. We had a little argument this morning. I have entrusted all my savings and my little capital of almost 6 million naira to her friend who was into real estate. And when we went to see the lady in her office, after we've been trying to put a call across to her for some weeks now, and she wasn't taking our call, we discovered that she has scammed us. We were on our way coming back from the police station this morning after we have made our reports, and on our way home, I was trying to ask her some questions. She started insulting me, and in her frustration, she slapped me and started struggling with the wheel. That was all I could remember, Nosa said as she bent his head in shame. So sorry. I learned that she did not make it, Biodun interjected. Yes, that was what the doctors told me. Her body had been deposited in the morgue, and I have given the details of her family members to the hospital management, Nusa said in a sad tone. Well, Nusa, thank God you're alive. You have always wanted more. You have always complained that I was boring. You wanted to explore. You remembered how you cheated on me when I went for my youth service in Calabar, and I caught you making out with one of your female neighbors, and you promised me with your life that it will not happen again. Nusa, you are that African proverb which says that a leopard cannot change its skin color. No, sir, you never changed. Just the first breakthrough you had, you were already cheating on me. The first time you left us and refused to call back, Mr. Vincent told Nnamdi, who had confided in me, that you were cheating on me. So that was why when you came back, after 3 weeks, I did not allow us to have any intimacy as a couple. I was just being careful. Although I was unhappy with the turn of events, I just wanted it to be successful. Nosa broke down in tears. Nosa, why are you crying now? Why are you being this emotional? We abandoned our daughters and I over 5 years now. That you abandoned us without looking back. Nosa, I knew you were in Lekki. Someone even gave me your home address. But I'm not foolish. I promised myself that I was not going to fight over a cheat, an ungrateful and selfish man that you are. I also promised myself that I will not shed a tear for you again. I only broke down when the doctor told me that the accident affected your both legs and that you would never use them again. I am human, the mother of your daughters. No matter what, you are still their father. Please, Biodun, have mercy. You are all like God's left. After all we went through in our marriage, God finally smiled on us. And he brought us help through Namdi and his friend Maurice. But, no sir, what did you do? You spat on their faces. Well, I'm done here. I've said enough. As you can see, I have forgiven you. That is why I'm here. Even in your unconsciousness, I sat here praying for you and wishing you well. No sir, you see, you abandoned us, but God never did. God sent us help through Namdi and his wife. They have been there for us all these years, and God will continue to bless them. Your family, where are they? They never called. Well, I have good news to share with you because God is still faithful. 2 days ago, I received a letter of employment from an international NGO that I went for their interview few weeks ago. I have been employed as a senior communication personnel and have been posted to Johannesburg, where I will be assuming my new office. Not just that, I have a car, a house, living expenses that would cover for myself and our two daughters and their schooling, and that is not from my salary. My ticket and that of our daughters have been booked by the NGO, and in a week time, Folu, Doreen and I would be leaving the shores of Nigeria to start our new lives over there. Biodun, please, I'm very sorry. Please, forgive me. If you leave me here, I will die. Nosa pleaded. You see, Nosa, it has always been about you. What if I was long dead before you reappeared? You are now sorry because karma have finally come. As if you really cared. Was your betrayal and cheating not enough for me to lose my mind, fall sick, and in the process lose my life? I have no regrets at all. God have blessed me with two beautiful souls, my precious jewels, Folu and Doreen, and I'm so proud of them. I have to be strong for them so they could pursue their dreams in life. Nosa, my time is up. Have a nice day. Please, Biodun, Nosa screamed as Biodun walked away, not looking back. A week later, Biodun and her daughters left Nigeria to Johannesburg. In few weeks, they were settled in their new location. Nosa was frustrated because he had no money. He could not call his friends on the phone to ask for help. He had lost everything. After paying his hospital bills and paying off the debts Abani accrued, he traveled back to the village with the little money he had on him. Nosa lived the remaining of his life in regret and bitterness. Thank you so much for watching this story. I really appreciate you all. Please share your thoughts in the comment section so we can discuss together the lessons or have learned from this story. Please share this story, subscribe, and give this story a thumbs up so it can get to a wider audience. See you all the next time I bring you another beautiful story. Stay blessed and bye!